Much for tuning in. All right. If you would please, can you hit the thumbs up for me? Please hit the thumbs up, share this video. I would greatly appreciate it. I would greatly appreciate it. Okay. All right. I have some stuff I want to share with you about free speech. Me personally, I find it highly interesting that all of a sudden, those on the left are acting like they're for free speech. And all this time, they've been trying to silence all of us that want to utilize our free speech. They've been wanting to silence us. Like, nope, you can't talk. You have no room to talk here. And I've been seeing more and more of that. More and more of that. It's like, why? And people in the past, they would go to work and they would have teammates, co-workers, bosses, employees, and they would talk about work-related stuff. That was the conversation, work-related stuff. Well, what ended up happening is that some of these employers or employees at one point found out that you were a Trump supporter. They found out that you may have participated in a peaceful protest in support of President Trump or America, and your employer or the employees would come back and they would say, I'm sorry, but we have to let you go because there's been reports or been complaints about, now they don't directly come out and say it's because of your support for President Trump, but everyone knows what it is because as soon as they find out that you're a Trump supporter, that's when everything changes. And then they go, because people are uncomfortable with your political views, we have to let you go. How many times did y'all hear that? How many times did y'all hear reports of people going to restaurants, going to different venues, and because they have on a pro-American, pro-MAGA Trump t-shirt or a hat, the venue or the restaurant would refuse to serve you service? It's not like you went into the restaurant with no shoes on and no shirt on. You went in there with a shirt on and shoes on, but they found out that you were a Trump supporter and they would not allow you to have dinner. They would not allow you to go into venues. They have fired people on the job when they found out that you were a Trump supporter, or if you did not go along with the things that the left was pushing. You understand what I'm saying? If you didn't go along with a man being in a dress, if you didn't go along with that, well, we just don't feel comfortable with you because, you just don't fit our way of thinking. And I'm adding here, right? Of course, they don't say this. You don't fit into our way of life. You make us very uncomfortable because we know that you supported President Trump. Now, I'm adding this part. They don't say that, but this is exactly what they're doing. You see, full transparency here. I'm telling you right now that they don't say those words, but they make it clear because you're a Trump supporter that you can't be here. And it's the same thing that was happening on social media. On social media, when you sided with President Trump or you sided with reality and facts, a lot of the social media platforms use that as a means to block you, censor you, ban you, delete you. So all you had to do was tell the truth. And because you showed your support for President Trump, they did all this stuff to you, to us. And there's no secret what I'm saying here. Everyone is in complete awareness of what's taking place here. No one can dispute it. Well, of course, you'll have some on the left. They'll try to dispute it, of course. And I mean, I get it. I get it. I get it. I mean, I guess if I was them too, I would dispute it. I would dispute it 100%. So now what's happening is that people are doing these videos all over social media, basically celebrating what happened to Charlie Kirk. They're basically celebrating it. Let me ask y'all a question. Did y'all ever see anybody celebrating what happened to George Floyd? I mean, this is a legit question. And I'm hoping people will leave me a comment and tell me, oh yeah, Will Johnson, so-and-so, there's video of them supporting and celebrating what happened to George Floyd. No, there are no videos. There are no videos of people out there saying, this was a great thing. Can we get more of it? There's no videos of that. Now, did some people believe that he put himself in that predicament, being in the lifestyle that he was in? I mean, there was no reason for him to be there. The drugs involved, the money laundering, allegedly, you got to say all of that, right? Him with taking rent from a female, when she was pregnant, allegedly. People saying that, when you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. We hear all of that. But Charlie Kirk wasn't doing anything stupid. Charlie Kirk was doing what I'm doing right now. That's what Charlie Kirk was doing. Charlie Kirk was doing the thing that I am doing right now and just talking, using his voice, just like I'm doing. I'm using my voice right now, not hating on anybody. Now, I can disagree with people. I mean, that's what it's all about. And I still find it highly interesting how the left, they want to champion what they call democracy, how they want to say they champion being open, inclusive, open-minded, loving, caring, compassionate. They say all of these things about themselves, but they completely act different. So I've been doing videos and I've been talking to people for various years. And be honest with you, I really enjoy, I get a kick out of it, going out and having conversation with people that disagree with me. I do, because we're having open discussion. We're having a debate. We're debating stuff. I really like those conversations. I really do. Now, and I've been told this before by people, especially Shannon. She's been really close to me for many years now. And before I even started doing videos and I would have conversations with people, she says, at one point she told me that I should stop talking to people about, religion and politics. She said, you need to stop talking to them. I said, why? And she says, it's not because you can handle it, because it's not because you don't get upset, but everybody that you talk to that don't agree with you would get upset with you. And I said, but that's out of my control. And she said, no, it's not out of your control. Just don't talk to them. But I like those conversations. I think we should be able, and you know what? We should be able to have these conversations with one another. I don't have any issues at all if you completely disagree with anything that I say. No issues with it at all. I kind of expect it, be honest with you. I'm just being honest with you. I kind of expect it. Is that weird, right? Especially when people who don't believe like me, I expect them to not agree with me, and it's perfectly fine. I'm okay with that. because we're all on the planet together and we all don't think alike. We all don't look alike. We all don't sound alike. And that's perfectly fine. But the world we live in today, when it comes to the left, 100%, every time I go out and I'm talking to these people that disagree with me, they don't want me to be heard. The last time I went to an event was the No Kings event that the left was having. Did y'all see any of my videos from that? Oh my goodness. So I go to this No Kings event, and the only reason why I went, because, okay, not the only reason why I would go, because, the liberals are there. I want to go play. But I went, and it was like pretty close. I mean, I could walk there. It may take me a little bit, but I could walk. But so I went, and while I'm out there, and I'm just having civil conversation with this guy, and then I had another conversation with this lady, and this dude who does not like me, total liberal, can't stand me. If I was on fire, he would not pour any water on me. He would just watch it, probably get some marshmallows out and hot dogs. But I'm out there having just a civil conversation with people. And this dude that doesn't like me, he comes with his megaphone. See, I have a megaphone. He has a megaphone. And he comes with his megaphone. And while I'm sitting there talking to a lady, he's getting his stuff together so he can start blasting music into my ear. And he's telling this woman that having a conversation with me, because she's curious. She's absolutely curious. She goes, I really want to know why you, being a black man, will support the MAGA movement. It's like she's never, ever had this conversation with a black person that supports President Trump and loves America. She's never had this conversation before. I could tell, because she was so eager to have the conversation with me. And I was eager to talk with her. Wasn't yelling at her. Wasn't trying to degrade her. None of that. I was saying, look, I'm going to tell you why I support President Trump. And I told her, I said, I used to be a Democrat. And then I started looking and I started reading information and I started learning. And once you see the truth, you can't unsee it. I mean, you can't. I mean, I guess some people just ignore it, but you can't unsee it. Well, when she was really like, as soon as she goes like, I understand your position now. I see where you're coming from. And she was there with her husband, and her husband's standing right there. I'm not saying anything mean to her because I would expect him to stand in, hey, wait a minute, you can't talk to my wife like that, right? I mean, I would expect that. Any honorable man with his wife. But I'm not saying anything mean to her, but this guy, this liberal, he starts blasting his megaphone and saying, you need to stop talking to him. And I said, why can't she talk to me? Why can't we have a civil conversation? We're not yelling at each other. We're not being mad. And he goes, I don't care. No one should be able to hear anything you have to say. So at this point, because he has his megaphone blasting in my ear, all I can do is walk away from her. I can no longer have the conversation. And he's following me now, and he's screaming on his megaphone, telling everybody, don't listen to him. Don't listen to him. Don't talk to him. Don't engage with him. Don't talk to him. And here I am, the black man in America, wanting to talk to all of these white people that are liberals. Maybe, just maybe, they'll be able to convince me. Not likely. But maybe they will have, valid points. That's what we should be able to discuss. We should be able to converse with one another without all of the conflict. But no, he wouldn't do that. His whole thing is that he's the white liberal and he has to shut down my voice. I don't know if you saw that video, and parts of it, I took clips of it and I put it out on social media. And there's one part I put on there where I was saying Jesus was king, and all of them, you can hear him in the background. No, no, no. My whole point is the left, they want to shut down free speech. They're not for free speech. Because if they were for free speech, they wouldn't have done what they did to Charlie Kirk. If they were for free speech, they wouldn't be trying to shut us down on social media because we're saying something, we're doing something that they don't like. Now, I can understand if we're doing criminal activity. Okay, you might have a point there. I don't want to see the criminal activity either, to be honest with you. But me just using my voice, y'all haven't heard me say a single curse word. Not that I haven't cursed in the past, just to be honest with you. But y'all haven't heard me say curse words. Y'all don't hear me call for violence. You don't even see me showing any nudity or any of that. Now, I will call these people out for the stuff that they're doing. And it's not because I'm wanting to be mean to them. They don't want me to expose it because someone else that is on their side and they see it. Wait a minute. Will Johnson is showing this stuff. I didn't think about it like that. I can't tell you how many times people have sent me messages and people have called me in the past and go, I didn't even think about it like that. Multiple times. And you see, that's where the problem comes in because they don't want people to see an alternative way of thinking. So they want to shut it down. They want to eliminate it. And that's what's happening. And now these people out there, when it comes to free speech, and everybody has the right to free speech. Everybody. I'm in complete agreement. Everybody has the right to free speech. If you want to say something that Will Johnson doesn't like, and I've said this for years, if you say something that I don't like, guess what? I will support you in saying it. For me, free speech starts when you say something that I don't like. So you get to say it all day. Now, with free speech, with the great responsibility of free speech, right? There are consequences that could follow. Now, I have the freedom to go say whatever it is I want to say. And I can say the most horrific things. I can say terrible things if I so choose. You can too. No one is stopping you from saying all of the most wicked things you can think of to say. No one is stopping you. No one is stopping Will Johnson. Right now, I could take the next 3 minutes and just say the most despicable things ever. I could. Right? What's to stop me? I have the freedom to do it. But what follows is this thing called consequences. You understand? That's what follows. Because I can say something like, and then y'all can be like, well, I'm not going to listen to this dude anymore. I don't like what he's saying. That's a consequence. People stop listening to you. You have the freedom to say it. But liberals, they have taken it to the next level by out there celebrating and saying these despicable things about Charlie Kirk, and they're getting met with consequences, and they're saying their free speech is being violated. No, it's not. You're just suffering the consequences. And I don't understand why liberals don't understand that. I'm really having a hard time why they don't understand that. Really not, but I mean, the reason why I say that is because they claim to be so intelligent. I don't claim to be intelligent, but they do. They claim to know what's best for everybody. They claim to understand everything better than everybody. They know what's best for all of us, but yet they don't understand with free speech come consequences until we tell the truth. We get banned on social media, get blocked, you get censored, get deleted for telling the truth. Or even just being curious about something that they don't want you to ask questions about. You remember what happened at the end of President Trump's first term? Y'all remember? Kung flu? Y'all remember that? People were asking questions and they were getting chopped left and right for simply asking questions. In this case, they're out there being despicable. Do you want a teacher that is celebrating what happened to Charlie Kirk? Do you want that teacher to be over your children? Do you want to go into a doctor's office and you have to go to surgery and the doctor is putting videos on social media celebrating the fact what happened to Charlie Kirk, but you're about to go on the operation table with this doctor and he finds out that you're a MAGA Republican? How do you feel about that? You understand? If you're a facility like a doctor's office and you want to just save lives regardless of who the person is, right? Because that's my understanding. That's how doctors should be. And be like, you know what? My politics stay at the door. Right here, you are a human being. We're going to work on you as a human being. Man, you're a woman, child, boy, girl. We're going to work on you as a human being. My politics stay at the door. Does that make sense, or is it just me? But what's happening is because the left have such an issue with us having free speech, and because of the things that we say doesn't go along with the stuff that they say, guess what they want to do? They want to eliminate us like they did Charlie Kirk. They said about a half of the liberals are okay with eliminating us because of the things that we say. Not that we've done anything to them, just the things that we say. How is that even, why is that even a thing? How is it that these people that reject God so much get their emotions touched so much? Not by the physical. You understand? It's not the physical thing that gets irritated. That's why sometimes I ask them, show me where it hurts. Because don't have to touch them. All you have to do is tell the truth. And they get upset with that. I want y'all to listen to this report, because they put the statistics together about how liberals believe that we should be eliminated. This is a news report, commentary, viewer discretion advised, because the stuff that he is saying is not pleasant at all, but is factual. And that's all I'm doing is sharing factual information. And if you're a liberal and you disagree, I would like to hear from you, to be honest with you. I really would. I would like to hear from you. Listen to this.
People need to stop dictators or save democracy, and researchers say that legitimizes political violence. Two new reports say there's this growing tolerance, especially among the young and the political left, for violent acts. Example, 50% who self-identify as progressive said killing Elon Musk can be partially justified. 56% felt the same way about President Trump. In fact, 14% said a murder could be completely justified. 59% on the center left said destroying a Tesla dealership was somewhat acceptable. So where's the hate coming from? Well, Rutgers researchers found the platform Blue Sky, which is the Democrat alternative to X, quote, plays a significant and predictive role in amplifying radical ideas.
The left really has much more of a, I don't talk to you, I don't want to deal with you, you're deplorable, I can't break bread with you. Yeah. That attitude, and like all the right-wingers, they don't have that attitude.
So a separate u.gov.
I mean, y'all hear this? All the right-wingers don't have that attitude. That's exactly what I've been saying in my monologue. That's exactly what I'm saying. I like talking to these people. I want to have the discussion. We should be able to. And you know, sometimes when I go to these events and they see my camera, they'll put their signs in front of the camera so people can't see. And I ask them a question. I said, if you're doing something that's so wonderful, why would you block my camera? Don't you want the entire world to see the wonderful things that you're doing? And they go, we don't want you to twist it. Twist what? We don't want you to twist our words. I'm not twisting anything. You're the one saying it. But in Bill Maher, the light bulb comes on, then it goes off. It comes on, then it goes off. Right? But he's right. Conservatives, we don't have issues having conversations. You know why? Because we know, and we know our God, and we stand firm in our beliefs, and we don't have any issues to try to be angry with you because you don't believe the way we do. I mean, that's what it comes down to. That's what I learned that a long time ago, that, hey, Will Johnson believes the way that Will Johnson believes. And it's not Will Johnson's job to go out there and try to convince everybody to think like Will Johnson. It's not my job. I mean, it's really not. And I still think that today. It's not my job to get you to think. I don't want you to think like me. I want you to think for yourself. See, that's the difference. Come on. Come on. Why is this so difficult? Why do we have to fight each other? Can we just have a conversation? Now, it can be a heated conversation. I have no issues with that. But at the end of the day, let me buy you a beer. I'm not, but let's talk. We just might find out that we might have more in common than not. But we can't get to that point because people find out that you support Trump and everything else just shuts down. Everything else just shuts down.
So a separate U.gov survey found that after the killing of Charlie Kirk, 72% of Americans said violence is never justified. 11% said it can sometimes be justified. But get this, among self-identified liberals, 21% political violence says it can sometimes be justified, compared to just 4.5% of conservatives.
That's wild. That's wild. And let me share this with you. This is a prime example of why Charlie Kirk was going to these colleges and universities. And they had to silence him because he was reaching too many of them. And these colleges and universities have become indoctrination camps. We all know this. We've been saying this for years. It's no secret. It's not epiphany. Oh my goodness, I had no idea. Listen to this young lady in here, what she says about Charlie Kirk. What she says, not just about Charlie Kirk, but what she says about people like Will Johnson. She's talking about people like me. And these are the people that's going to come up and try to be lawyers and judges and over big tech companies, whether or not people can share information, have content being shared with other people. And if people like this female in here disagree with it, you should be shut down. And they're constantly saying that those of us on the right are like fascists. Listen to what she says. What she's saying is the very definition of a fascist. Listen.
Another fear is maybe someone taking it upon themselves to handle his unfinished business, because I'm sure a lot of people that supported Charlie Kirk feel like, oh, he's gone too soon. He wasn't done. Like the things he was pushing, he was making change. Other people may feel the need to echo him or carry on the rhetoric he was pushing, and I don't think that's beneficial at all. I think I'm most afraid that America won't utilize Charlie Kirk's death in the correct way. Nothing will really be gained from it, and it'll take too long to put the pieces together.
Y'all hearing this? So she's asking, there has to be a way that we can stop people from echoing what Charlie Kirk was saying, what Charlie Kirk was doing. So basically shut it all down, silence them permanently. Permanently. Have you ever heard of a conservative talk this way? I mean, really? No, you haven't. And they're constantly saying, well, the rhetoric is on both sides. There's no rhetoric on both sides. It's only coming from the left. It's 100% coming from the left. I mean, the sooner they realize this, the sooner they can come to a healing. Not a doctor, not claiming to be one. Disclaimer there, not a doctor. But something is inherently wrong when these people constantly, they do all of this terrible stuff like they did during the Summer of Love, and then they point the finger and say, oh my goodness, as everything's on fire behind them, but it's mostly peaceful. Do y'all see a pattern? And as I've said multiple times, the reason why I believe this is happening is because of the spiritual battle that we are all in. The spiritual battle is so intense right now, and it's going to get worse. It's so intense. The spiritual battle is so bad that you have these monsters that do these horrible crimes, and what does the left do? They celebrate them. They will go out and celebrate them. They will elevate them. They'll build statues of them. They got a statue of George Floyd. He wasn't a stand-up guy, but yet they built a statue of him. There was even a video, I need to pull it up, where they were saying that, how did they say it? In George Floyd, George Floyd we trust, or what? No, it was saying they were doing a prayer, and they were asking George Floyd to hear their prayers. But any other time, they don't believe in prayer. Imagine how that works. And then this guy that did this horrible crime to Charlie Kirk is another example. And I'm thinking like, okay, they're not going to separate. I didn't think that. I knew they were going to at some point. They were going to give passes for it. They were going to celebrate it. They were going to talk him up. They're going to make it look like he was such a loving guy. I mean, listen to how this guy is gushing. I mean, just gushing all over the text message of the messaging that this guy that did this horrible act against Charlie Kirk and the guy's significant other. And this dude is gushing over the communication. Now, the guy that did the horrible crime against Charlie Kirk was in a relationship with another guy that was pretending to be a female. You're an adult, do your thing. Disclaimer here, I'm not coming to your door telling you how to live your life. I'm not going to do it. I don't agree with it, but you have the freedom to do it. This guy's, listen, he's gushing over it. I mean, it's pretty disgusting.
We have seen an alleged murder with such specific text messages about the alleged murder weapon, where it was hidden, how it was placed, what was on it, but also it was very touching in a way that I think many of us didn't expect. A very intimate portrait into this relationship between the suspect's roommate and the suspect himself, with him repeatedly calling his roommate who is transitioning calling him my love, and I want to protect you, my love. So it was this duality of someone who the
it's so
said,
beautiful. It's like a Romeo and Romeo story. Almost Romeo and Romeo love story. Oh my goodness, it's so wonderful. Gushing, gushing, gushing. I mean, are you hearing it? Or is it just me? Maybe I'm making too much out of this. But it sounds like a lot of gushing going on to me.
Not only jeopardized the life of Charlie Kirk and the crowd, but was doing it in front of children, which is one of the aggravating circumstances of this case. And on the other hand, he was, speaking so lovingly about his partner. So a very interesting and, as Pierre said, riveting press conference, David.
It was tough.
He was speaking so lovingly for his partner. Gush. That's a straight up Romeo and Romeo story. Juliet's not in the picture. I mean, come on, people. The guy, was it Luigi Maggiano, whatever his name is, the guy that took out the CEO? Look how they're celebrating that. They're celebrating Luigi. The guy that was in the United States of America came here illegally, ended up doing horrible things to his wife. He was trafficking children, people, doing drugs, all of this other stuff, part of MS-13. He gets deported to Venezuela, and they're crying because this dude is out of the country. Demoncrats got on an airplane, flew over to sit down and hold his hand, break bread with him. The Demoncrat Party, when they find a criminal or the criminal element or the criminal aspect or the criminal agenda, they're all in supporting it. And it's not me making it up. They're the ones doing it. I'm just calling it out. But they get upset with me. I'm just saying it. I'm just talking. I'm just talking. But you know what? I receive death threats too. I do. One time I actually posted one of these death threats on Facebook, and it didn't go against the community standards of the person who sent me the message. It went against the community standards because I took a picture of it and I shared it what the person said they wanted to do to me. So they penalized me and not the person who said it. And all I said was, look, everybody, this is the type of stuff that I receive. And because I shared that, they penalized me. I still get them. So I stopped. I don't even report it anymore. I don't report it. I don't say anything. I was like, just let it go. I was like, whatever. It's just the nature of the beast. Because I'm a black man, not that my color has anything to do with it, because it doesn't. But it's a double negative for them, for me being a black man and loving my country, supporting my president, Donald J. Trump. It's a double negative for me, right? Not that it shouldn't be. And to be honest with you, I'm so sick of that. I'm so sick that my complexion means something at all. I don't like the fact that liberals go, but how do you support Trump and you're black? What does my color got to do with it? I don't wake up feeling like a color. I don't elevate one color over another. I don't walk throughout the day thinking, oh, I'm black. I don't do that. I don't think I've ever done that. The only time I ever recognize it is when it becomes an issue that I am black for people. It's not an issue for me. That's why I said it shouldn't be an issue for whatever color God created you to be. And I'll be the first one to tell you that I see color. I really do. I see all colors that God created, and they are wonderful. There's nothing wrong with the different colors that God created. So I see them all. And it's just man that elevates the color over one color over another. That man does that. Man. Man. I don't know what's going to happen with our country, but what I'm seeing is that we've constantly talked about how the country is so divided. It's divided. And for what I'm seeing is that the country is becoming more and more divided. And I'm just wondering how much more can the division take place? Have anyone else wondered that? Have y'all wondered that? How much more division are we going to see in this country? And President Trump is not the one doing it. And they say President Trump, he's causing division. We call them leftist lunatics. When all of them for the past 10 plus years have been calling President Trump all of these hateful names, trying to push President Trump, trying to push everyone to believe that President Trump is racist, and he's not racist, trying to get everyone to believe that his supporters are like neo-Nazis and calling Trump a Hitler figure. They've been doing this for many years now. And now all of a sudden they're all saying we have to be compassionate. We have to tone the rhetoric down. And they're not saying that, they're not going, well, you know, even though we said all this stuff about President Trump and everything, they see in their minds, they justify it because they tried to convince all of us not to support Trump. but they're saying that the rhetoric needs to be turned down and it needs to start with President Trump. I mean, that's what they're saying. It needs to start with President Trump. So if President Trump doesn't stop calling them lunatic liberals, they're not going to tone down their rhetoric. Well, guess what? If President Trump went in the Oval Office and did a emergency or just a little video and says, look, we're all Americans and we're all hurting for different reasons. This is the time that we need to put bygones aside, let bygones be bygones, and come together and unify as a nation, the United States of America. We are the greatest nation in the world. We can do this. Let's say President Trump came out and said that. What do you think? How do you think the left would react? He's lying. You can't trust anything that he's saying. He's only saying that because he's trying to get people to believe that he's on America's side when he's not. That's exactly what they would say. Prove me wrong. President Trump with the tariffs, bringing in billions of dollars for America, they want to stop that because they don't want America to be successful. President Trump shutting down the borders, preventing people from coming across the borders with all of the drug trafficking, the human trafficking, and they don't want him to do that. They want to stop him from doing it. President Trump rounding up MS-13, Trade de Agua, all of these criminals that are in the country, not even American citizens, deporting them. They don't want him to do that. They want to stop him. President Trump sending in the National Guard because the local police department, the mayor, the governor, not helping the people when the people are screaming help. We got too much violence happening. President Trump sending them in. They want to stop him because they don't want that. Make it make sense. What did I just say that's not true? What did I just say that's not true? Every single time President Trump steps forward to do something positive for this country, they run out and find radical judges to try to push him back, to try to prevent him from doing positive things in the country. Now, I can understand if he was doing stuff like having open borders and having people coming to the country and they were trying to stop him from doing that. I would understand. But that's not what's happening here. I hope someone understands what I'm saying. Anybody? Now, I know for the most part, the people that do tune in to watch me on a day-to-day basis, I know I'm preaching to the choir. I know you get it. But I'm just kind of curious, is there anybody that's never seen me before hearing what I'm saying and I'm like, wow, you know what? I didn't even think about it like that. And I say that because people said that in the past. Okay, I'm at the end. Go to my website, if you would, please. If you would, go to my website, uniteamericafirst.com, just like you see it right there at the bottom of the screen. You can sign up for the free newsletter. You can see it on the other side there. You can pick on the merch. If you like my shirt here, I voted for this. You can get this same t-shirt right here, supporting me, and you get something nice right there by clicking on shop merch. Other than that, if you want to help me, you want to support me and to continue to keep the lights on, because it's not real pretty right now, everybody, I would greatly appreciate it if you went to uniteamericafirst.com/donate and support me there. Let me see if I can switch it here. Yep, go right here and click on donate at the top. And you can see there's different month if you want to. Some people do it. Some people do it. You got the silver, gold, platinum, and diamond. Right. And I do special things for people that subscribe to my website there. And I put special videos out, newsletters and stuff like that. And I haven't done it in a while, but I'm going to pick back up on it. And then you have the normal way if you just want to do one-time thing, or if you want to go to my physical address, because a lot of people don't want to do the digital thing. There's my physical address right there for Will Johnson, right there on my website. I got my physical address right there. I only want Christians to send me things, okay? I've had liberals send me stuff in the past. Trying to be funny. So this is my physical address. If you like anything that I've shared with you today, please consider going to my website, uniteamericafirst.com, and supporting me. I need your help. I'm asking God's people for help. And the Bible I've always known the Bible tells us if you don't ask, you don't receive. So I'm asking for your help. uniteamericafirst.com. uniteamericafirst.com. God bless everybody. 1 hour, just over 1 hour from right now, Culture Wars. I'm going to have information showing you how the left is crying about we need to tone it down. And then right after that, they flip with their rhetoric. I'm going to show that in my show, Culture Wars. Go to uniteamericafirst.com and you'll see it right there on the front page, Culture Wars, 1 hour from now. God bless everybody. See you later.